Here are the starting lineups. First for the Portland Trailblazers, who come off the victory in Atlanta on Friday night. Terry Porter, Clyde Drexler in the backcourt. Up front, Buck Williams and Jerome Kersey. And at center, Kevin Duckworth. Portland, coached by Rick Adelman, the first captain of the Trailblazers, an original member of the franchise. Played 7 years in the NBA with 5 different clubs, including Portland. Here are the Celtics, Dee Brown and Reggie Lewis in the backcourt. Larry Bird playing despite the Achilles problem. Kevin Gamble on the front line. And the center is Robert Parrish. Celtics coached by Chris Ford. In his first year and taking over for Jimmy Rogers, last season led the Celtics to 56 wins and a division title. Boston Celtics have lost 3 in a row after winning 4 straight since the return of Larry Bird. And Friday night in Hartford, they were beaten by the New Jersey Nets 110-108 at one point. Boston led by as many as 19 in the third quarter.
Tough to be on the road for 3 games and then come back, quote, home and have to play in Hartford for the team. Just could not hang on in that fourth quarter run by New Jersey.
Boston had been on a roll after Bird made his return from the back injury, but they have gone to a down period over the last week. The Celtics losing to Miami, blown out in Chicago, and then blew the lead against the Nets. Hugh Evans, Jack Neeson, Bob Delaney are working the game as the Celtics in white and green control the tip. Dee Brown being played by Terry Porter. Jerome Kersey all over Kevin Gamble. Bird guarded by Drexler. Nice pass, and Brown gives Boston a 2-0 lead.
Dee Brown coming from the offside, away from the ball, flashing down into the low post. Point of emphasis for the Celtics today, movement without the basketball.
And here's Porter off the screen. Dee Brown inserted into the starting lineup, opening at the guard spot along with Reggie Lewis. Parrish took the hit from Duckworth, so Parrish will go to the line.
So many things come through Larry Bird's hands. That's why he is such an important part of this Celtic offense. Dee Brown finds the opening down low, flashes to it. Chris Ford mentioned yesterday, very, very concerned with the standing around that had been going on with the team in their 3 losses. We've got to get more movement from our guys.
And Larry Bird, who was a question mark, in fact, did not work out strenuously at practice yesterday, is bothered by a sore right Achilles tendon. It flared up Thursday night, but he did play against the Nets. And Drexler cuts it to a 4-2 Boston lead. Bird did hit 22 of his 28 in the first half against Boston, but also suffered a deep thigh bruise on Friday night. Reggie Lewis giving the Celtics a 6-2 lead. Bird took a shot from Derek Coleman of the Nets on Friday night. There's Bird again, able to box out. But the pass going astray, and Portland will take possession.
Celtics also wondering during this 3-game losing streak, where has the transition game gone? Larry Bird so important to that because he's their best rebounder off the defensive boards.
Minute and a half gone by at the Boston Garden. And Kersey's pass could not be handled by Duckworth. Portland Trailblazers opened their season at 1 up and 3 down. In their first 6 weeks, they lost as many games at home as they did all last year, but then they went on to win 10 of 13, and they've been rolling. The recent streak, 7 straight wins. That is their longest win streak of the year. Here's Bird way off. Buck Williams posting up on Larry Bird and then gets it back out. Kersey. So the Celtics lead the Blazers 6-4.
On the body now.
Here's Bird. Yes.
Larry Bird was determined to come right back after shooting the previous shot and missing everything. He needs to get that stroke down, get his outside game going.
Celtics 8, Trailblazers 4. Williams stripped. Also lost his glasses in the process. And Parrish had it knocked away.
One of the things that Robert Parrish mentioned was, I need to run the floor hard against Duckworth, make him chase me. I can get easy scores that way. The Chief out in front of everyone. The ball just laid out there for the big guy. Good hands by Drexler.
Celtics have hit 3 of their first 4 from the field. 17 on the 24. Celtics maintain possession. Kersey deflecting it out. These two clubs met in Portland back on the 10th of November, and the Trailblazers won it in a blowout, 116-90, led by Clyde Drexler at 26. Bird did not shoot well, 5 out of 18. Parrish. And the foul is called a hacking foul on Kersey, who was trying to help out.
Well, initially coming out, the Celtics go right at Duckworth, try to put fouls on him. That time it was Kersey picking up the foul.
Robert Parrish will shoot 2. Celtics 9 and the Trailblazers 4. Well, Boston up by the score of 10-4. Porter trying to put moves on Brown. Kersey. And again it's Bird off the boards. Parrish. Whipping one by Porter. Rick Adelman wants a 20. The Celtics hearing it from the crowd as they get off to the fast start.
With Larry Bird controlling the defensive boards, Celtics have the ability to release the other big man, Robert Parrish, down the floor. You can see Duckworth way behind, trying to catch up.
And Mike, we discussed earlier all the injury problems of the Boston Celtics. Check this out. Larry Bird has already missed 29 games this season with assorted injuries. D. Brown out for 45 games. Kevin McHale 26. On the other hand, the Portland Trailblazers have been a healthy ball club these past 2 years. Look at this.
Well, as you look around the NBA, you'll see that the teams that have the most wins are probably the ones that have had the fewest injuries. The continuity is there. Players understand their roles. They're there every night to produce.
Parrish off the steal. It's a 3-on-2. Lewis with the pull. Rebounded by Kersey. And now the Blazers try to break, but the Celtics got back. Drexler from downtown. And Clyde has been succeeding with the three-point shot.
Well, this Trailblazer team uses the three-point shot as a definite weapon, a definite part of their offense that they look for.
Boston leading 12-7. Parrish, yes. Celtics 14 and the Trailblazers 7. 8 points for Parrish. Drexler again for 3.
There's only one team in the NBA that has made more threes than Portland. That's Milwaukee. Portland's second in the league.
Bird attempting to answer. Other than Michael Jordan, probably no player in the league is as creative or as unstoppable as Clyde Drexler. And this year he has added another dimension to his game, the three-point shot, so he's become a complete player. Bird over Williams. Rebounded by Lewis. Pick and roll with Parrish. Offensive foul call.
When Robert Parrish plays pick and roll, you need to watch him slip the screen. But a moment ago, that three-point threat, Clyde Drexler behind the line. One thing he's added is range to his shot. It's just helped him become an even more dangerous player on the floor.
Consecutive three-pointers for Drexler. Boston leads by 4, and Drexler was held, so he will go to the foul line. Robert Parrish called for his second foul. There you can see the difference in Clyde's game, looking for the three-pointer. Already this season he has attempted coming into today, 278.
And Rick Adelman just believes in it. He said, I have guys who can make it. I give them a green light. They just have to have a good understanding of when it's the right time and when it's not the appropriate time.
So Drexler with a quick 10 points. And he has brought Portland within 2. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Kevin McHale getting set to check in. Lewis getting inside, and he's held. Foul committed by Drexler, and a timeout has been called. We'll be back in Boston in a moment. All right, Bob, and we resume with Reggie Lewis at the free throw line. The Celtics now lead the Trailblazers by the score of 15-12. Kevin McHale has checked in for the first time. Kevin McHale played only 18 minutes Friday night against the Nets. 5 and a 9, 14 points. Clyde Drexler has been in the midst of an explosion with 10 points the last 2 minutes. Here's Lewis, and he stepped out of bounds, could not handle that pass, and was trying to throw it right back.
The intention was to try and complete the play in the air while he was up there, just catch and score. He knew he wouldn't have time to come down and go back up. Instead, he lost his concentration and the ball.
Trailblazers remaining the same following the timeout. Terry Porter, Clyde Drexler in the backcourt. Ron Kersey up front with Buck Williams and Kevin Duckworth. And there's Porter hitting the 3. So it has been a 3-point festival for Portland here in the first quarter, and they now trail by only 1. 2 from downtown by Drexler, now 1 by Porter.
Well, Porter's the 11th best in the league at shooting the three-pointer, just under 40%.
Traveling violation call on McHale.
That's going to be a tough call because Kevin McHale, one of the best with low post moves, but it was a good call. He picked up the left foot, the pivot foot.
Porter got the step, yes, and it counts. He beat D. Brown off the dribble. And Portland has taken a 1-point lead.
Strength. Turning the corner with D. Brown pressuring shows you just how strong Terry Porter is.
So Porter will try to complete the 3-point play. Terry Porter, not what you would call a flashy player, but so efficient, so solid in the clutch. Portland by 2. Here's Brown from the rebounded by Duckworth. Drexler off the head fake. 5.5 remaining in this first quarter from Boston. On a quick release. And back comes Brown for the Celtics. Accelerating. And had it knocked away, it will be Celtic ball.
D. Brown has so much speed and quickness. He started to push the ball down the floor, looked to the right and left. There were no players filling the wings. He said, let me just go myself. I'm out in front.
Good play by Drexler, get a hand on it to knock it away. D. Brown is bothered by a sprained ankle. It's the right ankle. The Celtics continue to be hammered by injuries. Sherman Douglas put on the injured list with an ankle problem. Ricky Green is on the injury list. Nice move by McHale. Foul took the shoulder from Buck Williams. And Kevin McHale will go to the line.
Oh, what happened that time, because of the switch out, Duckworth wound up on Larry Bird, out away from the basket. Buck was caught behind Kevin McHale.
Kevin McHale saying yesterday at practice that his role in Boston has certainly changed. He says basically now I'm a 15 to 20 minute player, and sometimes that can be tough, particularly when you've been an impact player in the past. As you look at his illustrious career, said he used to use basketball as a barometer, but now it's the trainer's room. He says he uses the Stairmaster and the weights as the barometer as to how his progress is coming along.
You used to use games and practices to keep yourself in shape. Now you have to use other ways of getting it done.
Drexler off the mark, but kept alive by Kersey. The game is tied at 18. A good run by Portland, a 14-6 spurt, led by Drexler, who has 8 points. Duckworth rejected but fouled by McHale.
And the call's going to come before the actual shot. It's going to come on the drop step move into the middle of the lane with body. Duckworth, a big, wide guy. Body to body down low is where the foul was called, not on the shot block.
Kevin Duckworth, only a 69% free throw shooter, will go to the line. Kevin in his 6th year out of Easton, Illinois, and he has been struggling this season. When we handled the Portland-Chicago game back on the 1st of March, we talked about the fact that Rick Adelman will go to Cliff Robinson in the 4th quarter, and Duckworth's playing time has been down.
He has no problem, Adelman, going to a smaller, quicker team with Robinson.
Bird with his 2nd field goal. So Larry Bird is 2 out of 5 from the field. The game is tied at 20. 4.5 to go in this opening quarter. Drexler getting it inside to Williams. McHale with the box out. Lewis. And Kersey able to get to the loose ball. Now Cliff Robinson getting set to check in. Rick Adelman called that early 22nd timeout. Was very upset about the way the Blazers opened things up, but they have certainly come on as Terry Porter goes glass to give the Blazers a 2-point lead.
One of the things the Celtics talked about yesterday was their transition defense, how much they've been getting hurt, burned on that. Be interesting if they stay on the offensive glass today or more concerned about getting back.
Larry Bird finding the range. He now has 6, and the game is tied at 22. The Trailblazers have been an excellent road team. They are 20-12. That's the 2nd best record of the NBA. Drexler with 12 points, and Portland leads 24-22. Chicago #1 on the road. Portland, though, has won 14 of its last 18 on the road. Brown looking for the shot. 8 on the 24. McHale has tied it at 24.
Talking about on the road, how about those Detroit Pistons right now taking care of that West Coast?
Well, they are a dangerous team.
7 in a row for Detroit.
Here's Buck Williams from outside. I think Chuck Daly would like to say stop the season, start the playoffs. McHale working on Duckworth and draws the foul for Kevin Duckworth, his 2nd. A timeout is taken. 2:35 remaining in this 1st quarter. The Celtics and Blazers are tied at 24. Well, Clyde Drexler with 12 points in this 1st quarter. Portland has won 7 straight games since the blowout loss in Chicago back on the 1st of March. We asked Clyde, what have you learned from that loss to Chicago?
You got to keep your cool, maintain your calmness, and just go out and play the game. And our team has a tendency to lose it, has had a tendency to lose it in the past. I think this year has been totally different. We've been under control, we've been poised, and we've played the game. And as a result, we're having a lot of success.
There were times in the playoffs over the past 2 seasons that the Trailblazer team became so distracted by their opponents, by officials' calls, they lost their concentration on the most important thing, winning the game. And I think that Drexler is now saying they feel that they understand, they have learned by it, they've got themselves under control.
But the true test will come playoff time for this ball club. They were very upset about the statements made after the Chicago game concerning their lack of smart play on the court, and certainly that was dealt with in Portland throughout the week after that trouncing at the hands of the Bulls.
So what happens many times, one play sticks in the fans' minds. It's a glaring mistake. Perhaps the loss at home against Chicago still lingers. 2 big critical plays down the stretch. They could have pulled the ball back both times. Instead, they tried to attack. There were turnovers. Chicago wound up winning that game in double overtime. People tend to remember those negative things and not the positive things. The fact that this team has averaged over 60 wins for the past 2 seasons.
Rick Fox, who just checked in, called for the foul to put Clyde Drexler on the line. Mark Bryant, 4-year man from Seton Hall, has checked in. Resetting these clubs for Boston, it is a front line of McHale with Fox and Gamble. Now here's Gamble. And the Celtics lead 28-26. Kersey, Robinson, and Bryant now up front for Portland. Here's Porter. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the first. Brown being played by Porter. And the call is away from the ball against the Trailblazers. Here's one-time Boston Celtic Danny Ainge checking in, and here's it from the crowd. The foul committed by Mark Bryant. Ainge replacing Porter. So a nice greeting for Danny Ainge, who spent 7 years with the Boston Celtics. Celtics 11 for 11 from the line. They are the #1 free throw shooting team of the NBA. There's Danny Ainge, 7 years with Boston, and on to Sacramento. This is his second year with Portland. Celtics 30. The Trailblazers 26 with 1:40 to go in this first quarter. Ainge with a quick release. Kept alive by Bryant. Ainge with the head fake, able to beat Brown.
A steal by Drexler on the inbounds pass.
Clyde playing catch with himself. A third attempt does not go down. Now Bird being played by Ainge on a switch, and Larry Bird is able to connect with a scoop.
And Bird was most concerned with drawing contact, thinking he's going to get to the line for two. Keeps his concentration and converts.
Drexler fouled by Fox. That's 2 on the rookie from North Carolina.
Well, Bird immediately knew there was a mismatch. Ainge wound up on Bird in transition. Ainge trying to get the offensive call. Bird goes around, sees the defensive man rotating over, thinks Robinson's going to hit him, but instead takes the deuce.
Clyde Drexler to the line. He's 4 for 4 from the line. He now has 15 points in this first quarter, and we are watching perfect free throw shooting at both ends. Boston 12 for 12. Now Portland has hit all 8. Well, it was perfect.
So much for that.
Celtics lead by 3. We're down to 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Bird turning on Robinson and hitting. 10 points for Bird. And the Celtics lead 34-29.
Bird 9 for 11 in their last game during the first half, then a disastrous second half. Whether or not he can continue it over extended minutes remains to be seen.
Kersey with a quick release. 34-31. Celtics lead. It's been a hot shooting first quarter for both clubs. Boston has hit its last 5 from the floor. And D. Brown working it down for a final shot. And Kersey lost it off his foot. 0.5 of a second remaining in the quarter.
Jerome Kersey just took his eyes and looked up down the floor to see if he had an open teammate. In that 1 split second, the ball wound up going off his left foot out of bounds.
Bird will throw in.
This can be now a catch and shot attempt because it is above 0.3 of a second.
And Fox with the hook fling that lands in the crowd. Drexler 15 points in the first quarter. Clyde 4 out of 8 from the floor. Bird 5 for 8 for his 10 points. Good shooting by both clubs. And the Celtics lead at 34-31 after 1 at the Boston Garden. Second quarter underway. Celtics 11 for 19 from the field, 58% shooting in the first quarter. Robinson is fouled. Robert Pack, the 6'2" rookie backcourt man from University of Southern California, has checked in for the first time. Reggie Lewis called for the foul. Cliff Robinson to the line. In the first quarter, Larry Bird, who was a question mark for this afternoon's game because of an Achilles tendon problem, 5 for 8 from the field, 10 points, along with 6 rebounds. Clyde Drexler with a sensational first quarter, 15 points, 4 out of 8 from the floor, 5 for 6 from the line.
The 3 old-timers for Boston combining for 26 out of the 34 Celtic points.
Meaning Bird, Parrish, and McCann. D. Brown with his second bucket, and the Celtics lead it 36-32. Bryant with Kersey and Robinson up front. Pack and Ainge at the guards. Fox got a piece of it. Shot clock at 3. Here's Pack. Offensive foul call.
When you put the ball into a player's hands like Robert Pack with 3 seconds left on the 24-second clock, you're asking him to do something that's not natural for him. Produce an excellent shot while being pressured by a very good defender in D. Brown. As a result, he pushes off offensive foul.
Ed Pinckney has come on for the first time. Robert Pack, a major surprise, signed as a free agent after a good showing at the Southern California Summer League. Ainge off the steal. Fox racing back. Ainge gives it up. Kersey does the rest. Boston 36, Portland 34.
Well, outside of the transition game, I'm not sure who's going to get scores for this group of Blazers on the floor right now. Who a guy is that's out there that can break down the defense one-on-one and get them a basket.
Lewis. Fox with the rebound, and he is fouled. Hit on the reach-in.
Now, maybe this group of Trailblazers will get it done by playing excellent defense. Ainge caught down low against a bigger opponent in Reggie Lewis. Changes sides, gambles, comes up with the steal, and then numbers will get you every time. 3-on-1 for the Blazers.
Ala Abdelnaby, who recently has been bothered by some injury problems, has checked in for the first time. There is Ala in his second year out of Duke, watching a man that he would face in his days in the ACC, Rick Fox out of North Carolina.
And then another problem that's created for Rick Adelman is Abdelnaby was playing well, gets injured. Bryant comes back. He starts playing well. How do you get everybody minutes?
Celtics lead at 36-34. Robinson popping one to Ainge. Pack with a nice backdoor pass for Robinson. And the game is tied at 36. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad from the Boston Garden before the usual capacity crowd, just under 15,000 on hand. E. Brown, he thought he was fouled. Ainge, and that is called a two-pointer. His foot was on the line, and Chris Ford is asking for a timeout. The Trailblazers have taken a 2-point lead. We'll be right back. 2:15 gone by in the second quarter. And the Trailblazers with a 2-point lead on the Celtics. John Bagley has come on for the first time. He was a question mark because of a sore right foot. And the leg block is called. Well, the combination, as you mentioned earlier, of Parrish, Bird, and McHale have certainly contributed in the first half. The veterans have done the job. Only McHale is on the floor right now. Parrish and Bird getting a rest.
Talk about the changing roles. John Bagley, the starting point guard early in the year while D. Brown is out recovering from the knee problem. Then the Sherman Douglas trade is done. He's on the bench getting no minutes as Kevin McHale does a nice little post-up move. Suddenly he's on the bench as the third point guard, but now Douglas becomes injured and Bagley's needed once again.
Yeah, Sherman Douglas sprained an ankle. Here's Pack from deep. Robert Pack showing the shooting touch. Portland 40 and Boston 38. Bagley using the screen. Fox played by Robinson. It's McHale off the boards. Kevin McHale has 12. The game is tied at 40. Pack looking for the shot. Changed his mind. Able to find Bryant. Rejected by McHale. 5 on the 24. I don't know if they realize it. Well, Ainge does. And hits a three-pointer in unorthodox fashion.
How could you ever question that Danny Ainge would not know how much time was left? He's played here enough times. He just faked us all out.
The Portland bench screaming that the shot clock was running down. Ainge and Pack in the backcourt. Abdelnaby up front with Bryant and Robinson. Ainge beating Lewis off the dribble, finding Robinson. Yes. And the Trailblazers are rolling. They now lead it 45-40. The Celtics calling for a 20-second timeout.
Danny Ainge just wanted to make this a little bit interesting for everyone here in the building. Kind of holding the ball, making it look like he didn't even have an idea what was going on. Back over his head, and then suddenly launches it with the clock running out.
And Portland has hit 6 of 7 from the floor in the second quarter. Looking ahead next Sunday here on NBC, more NBA action. It's the Philadelphia 76ers and the Indiana Pacers, a matchup of two of those quiet guys by way of Auburn, Charles Barkley and Chuck Person. And it is a battle for the last playoff spot. Philadelphia right now the number 7 position. Indiana knocking on the door. Indiana has certainly turned it after the bad start.
Indiana seems like it keeps getting right to the point where they're going to put a string together and then they step backwards.
And Bryant does it off the steal. Mark Bryant has played well. He's extended the Portland lead to 7. A 16-6 run by the Blazers. Reggie Lewis.
Hey!
And a loose ball foul is called. Reggie Lewis is off. He's only 1 for 6 from the field.
Well, when you have big guys like Mark Bryant that are willing to work hard, now he's pressuring Larry Bird almost out to the half-court line. The hard work pays off with the steal.
And it certainly has been hard work on the part of Mark Bryant, who was out some 2 hours prior to his teammates taking the court here in Boston, as he was shooting from all angles. Larry Bird has been hitting from all angles. He now has 12. Portland leads 47-42. Pack passing in a crowd. It's picked off by Bird. Swinging move by Lewis and Bird as they were able to find McHale, but it was last touched by Portland, and Boston will maintain possession. Timeout is called with 6:50 remaining. First half. Robert Parrish with a good first quarter. He had 8 points. Robert Parrish, the oldest player in the NBA, still going strong, and says he owes a lot to his former Golden State teammate, center Clifford Ray.
When I first came into the league in '76, Clifford Ray took me on his wings and told me about diet, about stretching, weightlifting. He was doing all those things when it wasn't fashionable to do those things. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm experiencing the longevity that I am now, because of my off-season regime.
Any truth that you're going to dedicate your body to science when this is
They probably won't want it when I'm done.
Oh, the Czar with a little attempt at mirth.
Look, it's a special ability to be able to pull these things out of the players.
But Robert Parrish says he's been very fortunate that he's never sustained a major injury, and feels he owes quite a bit to Clifford Ray, who played with at Golden State. Clifford into dieting and stretching and lifting weights. Clifford was an excellent defensive center on some very fine Golden State clubs in the 70s. John Bagley able to connect, and the Celtics now trail 47-44.
And the old front line for the Celtics is in there together. Bird, McHale, and Parrish, and I'm sure that Chris Ford will take a very close look to see what type of productivity he gets out of this group.
Terry Porter has returned for Portland, finds Ainge. Yes. Well, Danny Ainge has hit 4 out of 5. He has 9 points. The Blazers 49 and the Celtics 44, halfway through the second quarter. Bird trying to hit Parrish, knocked out of bounds by Abdelnaby.
Talk about defense making a decision. Ainge is going to run off the screen. The defense is going to come over the top, so Ainge stays down in the corner low. That's a fade move by Danny Ainge.
Here's Bird from the yes. Larry Bird, 7 for 10 for 14 points. And Boston trails by 3. Porter, oh, he did well to get that off, extending himself in traffic. Terry Porter with 10 points.
Kept his dribble alive long enough to get to the spot that he wanted on the floor, right in the middle of the lane. He knocked out an easy jumper.
Portland 51, Celtics 46. Bird to Lewis.
A pick and roll, Lewis Bird into a give and go, Bird to Lewis.
3-point Portland lead as we come up on 5 minutes to go in this first half. Porter. Bird with the rebound. Bagley returns to Bird. The pass from McHale was rejected. And the crowd reacts. They were looking for a foul call. Cliff Robinson for Ala Abdelnaby. And Ainge able to recover. Larry Bird providing a spark for the Celtics. He's hit 7 of 10 from the field. He's hit his last 6. And he was a question mark for today because of the Achilles problem. Porter and McHale with the rebound. Harris with the spin. And Abdelnaby could not hang on.
A moment ago, some great transition basketball. The quick look, the second look, lefty pass delivered, but the excellent defensive recovery blocks the shot by Portland.
A. Brown is back, replacing John Bagley. Kevin Duckworth, Clyde Drexler have checked back in. And Pinckney back on the floor for Boston. He's up front with Parrish and Bird. Parrish being played now by Duckworth. Parrish drew the foul. Ball being made by Jack Neese. That's number 3 committed by Duckworth. Kevin Duckworth having a difficult time with Robert Parrish, who is 4 for 4 from the line. Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield will soon honor Robert Parrish with a display case that will salute his various milestone achievements, such as 20,000 points, 12,000 rebounds, and eventually you can look for Robert's uniform to find its way to the hall. Rebound number 8 for Bird. Lewis with the fadeaway. And Boston has come back to take a 52-51 lead. Here is Porter, and that's from downtown. Terry Porter hits his second 3. So the Blazers have hit 4 in all, make it 5 in all from 3-point range.
That's one of the problems with sliding underneath the screen. Pick and roll set up that time for Portland. You know that Porter's got the range. He steps behind it, shoots the 3 without hesitation.
Bird feeling for Robinson, and then fires. Yes! He has hit his last 7, and the game is tied at 54.
Put an extra 4 or 5 feet on that one just to get it up over the top of Robinson's hand.
Bird is 8 for 11, 16 points. Drexler for 3, and then some. Clyde Drexler is at 3 from 3-point land, and Portland is now 6 for 7 from downtown. The Blazers lead it by 3. Bird with the shovel for Lewis. Reggie Lewis will go to the line. The Blazers now call for time. Larry Bird bumping with Cliff Robinson, feeling around, and then drilling it home. 2:25 remaining in this first half. Well, Bob, as you know, I was at the Nick Net game last night, and sleep never a problem. Just the sight of the Czar is enough to get me revved up. And the Larry Bird family on hand, that is Dinah Bird, along with 8-month-old Connor. And I know Dinah enjoying what she has seen from her husband, Larry Bird. 8 for 11. He's hit his last 7, 16 points in all. Portland leads 57-55 with 2:25 remaining in the first half. Now Porter being played by Brown. And Reggie Lewis trying to front Clyde Drexler's call for his second foul. Drexler and Porter now in the backcourt. Robinson is up front with Kersey and Williams. We're coming up to 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Kersey rebounded by Williams. Here's Drexler challenging Parrish. So the Glide with 20 points, and Portland leads 59-56. Larry Bird has hit his last 7 field goal attempts. Parrish with the fake, fouled by Robinson.
Before the last timeout, Clyde Drexler posted down low. Buck Williams with the basketball. Clyde's going to slide to the middle of the lane. He's wide open, screaming for the basketball. Pass it to me. I'm open. Instead, he steps out, gets behind the three-point line, and knocks it down. And on his way back down the floor, he made sure to tell Buck Williams, hey, when I'm open, get me the basketball.
And Clyde has been open throughout this first half. He's the high man with 20. Ed Pinckney sits down. Kevin Gamble returning. Robert Parrish 7 for 7 from the line. Make it 8 out of 8. Boston down by 1 with a minute and a half to go in the first half. Portland Trailblazers record of 46-18. They have won 7 in a row, their longest win streak of the season. Robinson went to the running hook. Rebound number 9 for Bird.
And that was set up as an isolation for Robinson to go one-on-one versus Parrish. They had Drexler spotting up behind the three-point line on the left wing.
Shot clock at 7. Here's Bird. Kersey angling in. Time running down in this first half. 40 seconds remaining. Brown bottled up, tied up. Buck Williams and D. Brown will jump it up. The Boston Celtics at 35-29. When Larry Bird made his return from the back problems on the 1st of March, the Celtics went on to win 4 in a row, but they have lost their last 3, and they come off the defeat at the hands of the improved New Jersey Nets. Nets had dropped 4 straight on the West Coast, but they won in Hartford against the Celtics Friday night. Then last night at Madison Square Garden, they beat the New York Knicks 4-3. Crowd looking for a foul.
Crowd saw Larry Bird sandwiched between 3 of the Trailblazers' jersey and wondered how there could not be a foul called with them jumping all over his back.
Porter gets inside, it counts, and the foul. Terry Porter has 15 points. The foul committed by D. Brown.
Well, one thing the Trailblazers do is gang rebound and get on the glass on the offensive boards, in particular. Bird by himself. A little give and go inside cut that time by Terry Porter, and looked for the late return pass. The pass delivered by Clyde Drexler, who leads all scoring guards in assists in the NBA, almost 7 a game. So he's playing unselfishly while scoring his points.
Portland with a 4-point lead. Time running out in the first half. Brown lost it. It's a 3-on-2. Robinson rejected by Parrish with 5/10 of a second remaining.
That's the second time in this first half that the Trailblazers would appear to have an easy score and wind up getting nothing out of it.
Jerome Kersey will throw in 5/10 of a second left. And it's broken up. So that is the end of the first half. A good one here in Boston. Clyde Drexler, 6 out of 10 from the field, 20 points in all. Larry Bird at one stretch hit 7 in a row. He is 8 for 12 for his 16 points. At the half, it's the Portland Trailblazers 62 and the Boston Celtics 58. Third quarter underway in Boston. Marv Albert with Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad. Portland back to their starting lineup, and Duckworth opens up by connecting on his first field goal. The Celtics with D. Brown, Reggie Lewis at the guards, Robert Parrish, Larry Bird, Kevin Gamble up front.
And Chris Ford just mentioned how pleased he was with the job that they had done defensively on the Portland big people between Buck Williams and Kevin Duckworth. Only 2 points in the first half.
Gamble's shot was deflected by Kersey. Here's Parrish. So the Celtics trail 64-60. Light pressure being shown by Boston. Portland has won 7 straight. They've taken 21 of the last 26, and they have been so successful on the road. Once again, Clyde Drexler. He now has 23.
4 out of 5 for Clyde from behind the three-point line.
And the Blazers 7 for 9 from downtown. Drexler stripped by Lewis. Clyde took his eye off it for a moment, looking for the shot. Bird changed his mind, able to get it to Brown. Kept alive by Parrish, then Duckworth with the steal. Porter for Williams. Yes, and it counts. Bird went for the ball, trying to jar it loose, but he's called for the foul. This is the biggest lead of the game for the Trailblazers.
What actually happened was Larry Bird saw that Terry Porter was breaking free along the baseline, started to help on that man, left his man alone. 2 passes, that's what happens to score. Bird sees him, starts to help right there on Porter. His man's open. The opportunity for the 3 coming up.
Welcome back to Boston, where the Portland Trailblazers are trying to make it 8 straight wins. And they have a rugged road schedule this month. 10 of 17 on the road, but as you can see, they have handled it extremely well.
Well, this is a team that has the ability and has produced away from home on the road, as you mentioned. Unlike the Celtics, who are struggling at 11 and 22 on the road, this Trailblazer team is just dangerous at all times, at all places.
Portland with its biggest lead of the game, a margin of 10. With 1:45 gone by in the third. Bird with 18. He's hit 9 of 13 from the field.
And that may have been the biggest basket for the Celtics thus far to keep them right there, close enough to at least challenge. This could have exploded at this point.
Here's Porter for 3. Yes! So Terry Porter hits on his 3rd from downtown. He has 19. And Portland leads 73-62. Portland only 3 for 13 from downtown. Bird again. Portland was 3 for 13 on Friday night in Atlanta. Here's another 3 by Porter. At times, I feel as if I'm watching an ABA game from the early days of that league.
Little 2-man play. Robert Parrish setting the good screen. Larry Bird running his man off, wide open for the jumper. And then if you don't give him a screen, he's still good enough to get it off in your face.
Larry Bird is now 10 of 14 for his 20 points. Bird again. And Drexler gets to it. Kersey's pass broken up. Here's Brown able to slice through. Gamble. Well-executed fast break by D. Brown.
Only Kevin Gamble's second shot attempt in this basketball game. A young man who shoots well over 51%. Part of the problem with the players injured, some nights Gamble's a go-to guy. They need him to take 12 to 15 shots. Other nights when everybody's back, he just gets what comes in the flow of the game.
Shot clock at 3. Jerome Kersey with his 4th field goal. He has 8 points. Portland 75 and Boston 66. Lewis, he thought he was held, looking for the foul call. Portland tried to catch Boston moving down court in deliberate fashion. Duckworth spinning in, rebounded by Parrish. To heat it up. He's 3 of 4 from the field. Boston down by 7. Again, a bad pass. Portland getting a bit sloppy here.
Last game for Boston, Gamble, 8 shot opportunities, 7 of them good. 7 out of 8 from the floor. He produces when you give him his shots.
And certainly with Larry Bird sidelined by injury along with Kevin McHale, he was getting his shot opportunities earlier in the season. Kersey had it knocked away by Gamble. Kevin Gamble, originally a draft pick of the Portland Trail Blazers, kicked around a bit before settling with the Celtics. Bird can't find the shot. Lewis does. So the Celtics come roaring back, and they are within 5 after trailing by 11. Buck Williams for Jerome Kersey. Larry Bird gambling on the overplay.
When you go for the steal and miss, what happens is you break down the entire team defense.
Bird for 3.
Chris Ford had a little smirk on his face because he knows Bird is such a competitor. He knew he had broken down the team defense at one end, so he got it back an extra point that time.
Drexler could not hit the 3, and a loose ball foul is called on Buck Williams.
Well, if you give up 2 at one end, then it's real nice if you get an extra one back and knock out a 3 at the other end. That's what Larry Bird does for the Celtics. Up 1, up 1. Adelman saying, don't let him get started with 3s. We've seen enough of that.
Bird. 11-4 run by the Celtics to move within 4. Kersey with a hard driving move. Rebound snatched by Bird. Boston on the run, led by Brown. Portland able to get back. Lewis. And Drexler off the board. Drexler penetrating. A gorgeous move by Clyde Drexler. He has 25.
No excuse for that. Transition defense. The players must get back, locate the basketball, and then stop dribble penetration.
Celtics down by 6. Larry Bird is now 11 for 18 from the field. Porter had it knocked away by Brown. Lewis from Portland 79, Boston 75, and Rick Adelman wants to talk it over.
Welcome back to the Boston Garden. And you know, I always enjoy talking to ball boys around the league. And this young, what is your name?
Mikey.
Mikey what?
McHale.
Mikey McHale. This is Kevin. I guess sooner or later you're going to grow into those sleeves, huh? Have you ever watched Inside Stuff?
No.
How about, have you ever heard of Marv Albert?
No.
Well, you have a good time out here, huh? Marv?
Oh, what a setup. Plus the blatant plug, you'll notice. Well, Mikey's dead. Kevin McHale, 3 out of 6 from the field, 6 for 6 from the line for 12 points. The high man for the Celtics, Larry Bird, with 23. Clyde Drexler leads Portland with 25. Boston has come back after trailing by 11, but Terry Porter's had the hot hand, extends to an 81-75 Trailblazer lead. Porter has 21.
D. Brown asking for the 20. Injured his ankle on the last play down the floor, coming around the screen, turned it, needs the 20.
D. Brown has been bothered by a sprained right ankle. The Boston Celtics have been hard hit by injuries. Sherman Douglas on the injury list with an ankle sprain. Ricky Green is still out with lower back spasms. John Bagley a question mark, but he did play in the first half, has a sore right foot. And Larry Bird a question because of the sore right Achilles plus the deep thigh bruise.
It's right here on this contact. Right there, body contact by D. Brown is where the ankle is turned.
And D. Brown now sits down, replaced by John Bagley. 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The shot clock is down to 5. Down to 3. Lewis had it knocked free. And that is a 24-second violation. Let's get back to Ahmad.
It was not the ankle that D. Brown just injured. He got kneed in the thigh on that last play. They're putting ice on it, and he should be fine.
All right, Ahmad. It is Portland ball. A backcourt of Porter and Drexler with Duckworth, Williams, and Kersey up front. Blazers with the starting lineup. Beautiful backdoor pass for Buck Williams. And the Blazers now lead at 83-75. McHale backing Duckworth. Yes. 14 for Kevin McHale. Portland leads 83-77.
If you're going to double team McHale, then the defensive player that's matched up against him, Duckworth, has to bring him towards the double team. Don't let him turn away from it and get the jump hook off.
Kersey. Drexler on the recovery, and he's fouled from behind by Lewis.
A moment ago, D. Brown's injury took place on the right side of the screen. It was a knee by McHale right there into the thigh that caused the damage.
And there is Sherman Douglas, who, as we mentioned a moment ago, is on the injury list with an ankle problem. Sherman acquired from Miami on the deal for Brian Shaw. Cliff Robinson returns. Buck Williams will sit down. Leads with 5 points, 3 fouls. And Clyde Drexler, 6 for 7 from the free throw line. 7-point Portland lead. Just under 4 minutes to go in the third. McHale from Bird. Boston down by 5. Clyde was looking for the 3-point possibility. Duckworth swinging inside.
What Kevin Duckworth does is he uses that big body to protect the basketball. Kevin McHale with the extra long arms, great shot blocking ability, but it's nullified by the width of Duckworth.
Robinson able to get to it. Choice here, finding Lewis. Portland 86, Boston 81. Drexler changing his mind, finding Porter. Porter now guarded by Bagley, and he's fouled. That's the first committed by Bagley.
Good defense will produce a lot of easy scores for the Celtics. One of the things that Chris Ford said we haven't been getting enough of, fast break layups.
Drexler coming off the pick. Drexler with the spin. Clyde Drexler with 28 points. Portland leads 88-81. Bird drawing the foul. Will he get the call? No. The foul on Robinson. They do not give him the continuation.
He held the ball just a little bit too long. The contact's there. He's on the ground. And then the continuation and basket goes in. Good call. If he releases while he's got him in the air, fine. Otherwise, he's still on the ground.
So a non-shooting foul. Lewis to the jump hook. Yes, and it counts.
That's what Chris Ford was mentioning at halftime, that we want to try and put some pressure on Drexler at the defensive end. Hopefully that'll affect him down at the offensive end. Remember, Lewis is 6'7", going against Drexler 6'7", so matched up pretty well. Perhaps Drexler the advantage with a little more strength.
Boston now 19 for 21 from the foul line by virtue of that three-point play by Lewis. Portland has a 4-point lead. Robinson got picked off by Bagley.
Robinson looking for a call. All he did is run into the wrong team. That's all. Fell over.
Danny Ainge is back. Robinson looking to put the move on Bird. Shot clock at 5. Down to 3. Drexler rejected. And it's a 24-second violation.
And the crowd loves the fact that they knew the team was digging in defensively. They came up with the big defensive play. Reggie Lewis with the block. A moment ago, Robinson, after he passes it, just runs over the top of Bagley. A little duck under by John. Takes him down. And then with the shot clock running down, Lewis knew he had to try to get it off. The long extension, good timing.
Just under 2 minutes remaining in the third, and away from the ball, contact is made. Pushing foul called on Duckworth. That's his 4th.
Larry Bird was on the way to set a screen for McHale. Both players wind up colliding.
See Reggie Lewis, number 1 among guards in terms of block shots. D. Brown is headed off. As Ahmad mentioned a moment ago, took a shot in the thigh. Larry Bird on the line for the first time. 24 points for Bird. Substitution for the Trailblazers, Mark Bryant comes on for Kevin Duckworth. Duckworth with 4 fouls, 6 points. Portland by 2 with 1:45 remaining in the third. Robinson. Wild shot. Rebounded by Drexler. Robinson. He thought he was fouled, but instead it's called kicked out of bounds. Robinson, who does not like the call and has a technical foul given to him. He's got to be careful. He could get a second from Hugh Evans. And apparently, he is gone. He's been thrown out. A double technical called on Robinson.
It's exactly what Clyde Drexler had talked to us about yesterday, the fact that this team has had a reputation in the past of losing its control, its poise. Again, an example of it by Robinson, out of control.
So Cliff Robinson has been ejected. Larry Bird missing the technical. All right, here's another look at that play.
Robinson wants the call right there, feeling he had been hit across his arm. Then when they award the ball and give it to the Celtics, he goes after referee Hugh Evans. There's the first tee, and another one followed.
So Bird hits the second.
And Rick Adelman not real happy with the call either. Now his big concern is protecting his player before he's gone. Too late.
And that is a very significant loss for the Portland Trailblazers. Ala Abdelnaby has come on, replacing Cliff Robinson. Even more significant because Duckworth has 4 fouls. Off the finger roll, McHale has given Boston a 1-point lead. Drexler lost it. Bagley had it knocked away by Kersey, and a foul is called.
A very good foul by Reggie Lewis that time, because Clyde Drexler, who is just now hit with a technical foul as well, still arguing the call on his last drive to the basket.
And Drexler hit with the tee to put Bird on the line once again.
And this is a very good 20-second timeout by Rick Adelman. He sees that the team is losing control. They're totally out of sync right now. They've got to play the game and stop complaining. Right now with the clock down, he's going to take it to the basket and force. He felt that was more arm than ball. The officials felt opposite.
Boston in the midst of a 9-0 run. Well, Michael Jordan recently had this to say about the Portland Trailblazers. They run the open court so well. We try to get them in a half-court game and make them utilize their minds as much as possible.
I think all Michael's saying is this is a terrific transition team. If you can get them back into a half-court game and force them to execute in the half-court offense, you have a much better chance of beating them there than you do in the open floor.
Well, the Bulls feel very strongly about the fact, as we heard Phil Jackson say right at the top of the telecast, that the Portland Trailblazers have a tendency to self-destruct. Drexler. Clyde Drexler has tied it at 90. 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Reggie Lewis.
That play right there will be on the Celtics highlight tape. Ball movement, distribution, and spacing, perfect.
Boston with a 2-point lead. Shot clock at 10. Drexler trying to shake Lewis off. Draws the double team. Oh, look out, and it's a 24-second violation.
Well, that's got to make Chris Ford happy. 2 24-second violations caused by his team defense.
Final seconds, third quarter. Bird was looking for the 3. Bird off the fake, pumps it. So that is the end of the third quarter. Boston concluding with an 11-2 run. Drexler has 30. Bird has 27. The Celtics by 2 as we head to the fourth here at the Boston Garden. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. Well, the Portland Trailblazers at one point led by as many as 11 in the third quarter. They had a 73-62 lead, but the Celtics, who outscored the Blazers 34-28 in the third, lead it by 2 as we open up in the fourth quarter. Marv Albert, along with Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, the high point men of the game. Larry Bird with 27. Clyde Drexler sitting it out right now. He has 30. And Terry Porter with 21. Boston with Ed Pinckney up front, along with Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish. And McHale in a battle with Bryant. McHale backing Bryant. And Bryant with the rebound.
And with Bird out of the game right now, it will make it that much more difficult for the Celtic inside game to be effective because the spacing's not there. Portland's not as concerned with the perimeter game with these guys on the floor.
Abdelnaby stopped by Parrish, and a foul is called.
And Robert Parrish has enough sense right there not to complain, not to say anything. He understands that the momentum will swing back and forth during the game, that the Celtics just got their fair share of calls to end that third quarter.
That's 3 on Parrish. Ala Abdelnaby played only 43 games as a rookie last season, but had an expanded role after Mark Bryant's foot injury. Man who played in 3 Final Fours at Duke University. And vying for the rebound. Look at this. Kersey hooked with Pinckney, and they needed the official Jack Lease to unleash them.
It's just like TV wrestling. The ref comes over and breaks it up.
Game tied at 92. Lewis. Rebound, Pinckney. Trailblazers with a 3-on-1. Oh, no. Will go to the line.
This is the hookup right here. Pinckney's not going to let go. Kersey's trying to get away. Pinckney asking for a little help. Jackie Neese, break it up, break it up.
Reggie Lewis picked up the foul. That's 5 on Lewis.
At this moment, the game is very, very physical. Both these teams are very intense. I would think you will see the referees called a little bit tighter right now so it does not get out of control.
Danny Ainge, one-time Boston Celtic, to the free throw line. Ainge making his first appearance at the line. Larry Bird, Kevin Gamble getting set to return. And Pinckney will sit down along with Reggie Lewis. Ed Pinckney not getting the kind of playing time that he did at the start of the year with Bird and McHale injured. Ed Pinckney is actually having a career season.
He's played outstanding basketball. Chris Ford knows exactly what he gets out of him. Good defense, interior defense, and rebounding. That's his specialty.
Boston down by 2. Bird rebounded by Bryant. Buck Williams squaring up. And a pushing foul called on Bird. That's his second.
We talked about tightening up and the whistle blowing a little bit quicker. This is basically a little flick by Larry Bird. A little hand check with the left hand. The foul's called.
Abdelnaby will throw in. Minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Ainge being played by Gamble. Bryant found one in trouble. Rebounded by Bryant. Here's Porter from downtown. So Portland is now 8 for 13 from three-point range. And Porter is 3 for 6. Portland with a 2-point lead. Bagley setting it up. Now Bryant guarding Bird. McHale. Abdelnaby on the rebound. Both clubs have cooled off here in the fourth. Ainge and Parrish gets to it. Bird for Gamble. The game is tied at 94.
Even while Bird is starting to raise the ball up to attempt the shot, he sees the entire floor. Terrific late passer. You must keep your eye on the basketball if you're the defensive players for those late drop-down passes.
Porter backing Bagley. Ainge to the left hand. And he drew the foul. Timeout has been called with 9:13 remaining in the fourth. Well, for a good portion of today's game, Buck Williams has been matched with Larry Bird. We asked Buck, what does he try to do defensively against Bird?
I think today the most important thing that I have to do is go out and make sure I don't allow Larry to get me off my feet. I think he has a point now in his career where he gets very distracted when he has a hand in his face.
Well, the hand in the face does not seem to be working that well.
I think Larry Bird has seen a few hands in his face over his career and has that stroke down pretty well. 11 for 20 from the floor.
Danny Ainge to the line. The game is tied at 94, 9:13 remaining. In this fourth quarter, Ainge 3 for 3 from the line. He has 12 points. For those who may have just joined us, we had some explosive moments in the third quarter. Cliff Robinson upset about several calls, was hit with consecutive technical fouls by Hugh Evans. He was ejected. Clyde Drexler hit with a tee. Both clubs shot very well in the first half. Here's Parrish. Rebounded by Buck Williams. And Portland has been doing it from long range. They've hit 8 of 13 from downtown. Abdelnaby Bryant able to get the new 24. High point man of the game. Drexler with 30. Porter with 21. Bird has 27. Abdelnaby again. And Parrish able to come up with it. Bullets to Bird, but Portland is back. Gamble from Bird.
McHale took the first defensive player with him to the low left block. Bird ball faked and waited for Gamble to cut to the open spot. Found him.
Bird approaching a triple-double. That his 7th assist. He has 27 points, 10 rebounds. Here's Ainge. So Portland, after going 0 for 5 from the field in the fourth, able to hit, and they lead it 98-96. A three-point attempt, so he has cooled off. Ainge for Williams. Yes, and it counts. A gorgeous pass from Danny Ainge to set up Buck Williams.
Part of the problem with Larry Bird in the deep corner taking the three, it causes an imbalance in the defense, getting back in transition. The Blazers with numbers.
Foul committed by Kevin Gamble, and now the Celtics take a timeout with 7:38 remaining in the fourth quarter. Portland leading 100-96 with 7:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. Now Bird and Drexler matched. And Larry Bird has 29 points. The Portland lead is 2. Drexler. And a loose ball foul. It's on Bird, his 3rd.
But down at the other end of the floor, when the Celtics were on offense, Bird running the cut is body checked by his former teammate, Danny Ainge. Posts up Drexler and then protects with the right arm. Turns in for the score. At the other end, it's over the top, the loose ball foul taking place.
Celtics now over the foul limit. Portland spending much time at the line here in the fourth quarter. They are 6 for 7 from the line. The Celtics have not gone to the free throw line in the fourth.
Well, then can we call Cliff Robinson the sacrificial lamb? He's gone, but they're getting the whistles now.
Hugh Evans with the double technical on Robinson, who was ejected in the third quarter. Portland 102 and Boston 98. The Trailblazers seeking their 8th consecutive win. They've won 21 of their last 26. Second best record in the NBA behind Chicago. Yes, and it counts.
Now, most players on that same play would have picked the dribble up way before Larry Bird even attempted that shot. He had one guy guarding him, 2 more coming at him. Flashes down in the low post. As soon as he puts it down, watch 2 more Blazers come at him. There they are, but he keeps it alive, winds up splitting them, score, and the opportunity at the free throw line coming up.
The foul on that man, Clyde Drexler. He now has 4. Jerome Kersey checking back in, replacing Danny Ainge, who's played well. 15 for Ainge. Larry Bird 4 for 5 from the line. 32 for Bird, and the Celtics are within 1 point. Drexler with the step, and he's hammered. Foul committed by Gamble.
Well, Chris Ford back shaking his head. There's no way that a pass should be allowed to go the length of the floor after a free throw opportunity and score that quickly. Just a breakdown in communication by the defense.
So Clyde Drexler will shoot a pair.
And if there's one guy that says, when he's yelling, I know it's probably me, it's Ed Pinckney.
That's a change on that foul call. It was Pinckney, not Gamble. 31 points for Drexler. Portland 103, Boston 101. Here's Gamble. Kevin Gamble was held. Kevin Gamble, originally a third-round draft pick of Portland. He played only 9 games for the Trailblazers. Kersey called for the foul. Celtics feel that Gamble should go to the line, but they say a non-shooting foul. Kevin Gamble went the CBA route, then he signed as a free agent with Boston. This is 4th year with the Celtics, and he emerged as a force last season. Six and a half remaining in the 4th. Celtics with the ball, down by 2. Bird backing Williams. Drexler over to help. Bird will go to the line. Buck Williams called for his 4th.
Bird commands a double team. The problem is he turns away from it before Clyde Drexler can get there. The shot up, Buck's arms caused the contact. Alderman can't believe another foul called against his team, but he's had a pretty good shake so far here in the 4th quarter.
That is a season high for Bird, 33 points. Kevin Duckworth replacing Mark Bryant, so Rick Alderman doing quite a bit of shuffling, what with the departure of Cliff Robinson. Also, he has foul trouble. Buck Williams with 4, Kevin Duckworth 4, Clyde Drexler has 4 fouls. The game is tied at 103. Kersey shooting. Portland leads 105-103. Jerome Kersey with 12. 6 minutes remaining in the 4th. Bagley on a pick and roll for Parrish. Oh, yes! And it counts.
After the pick and roll took place between Bagley and Parrish, Bagley knew his best chance was just throw it up in the air. Parrish is so big that Drexler rotating over would be too small to intercept it. 1 fake, 2 fakes, 3, 4, and the basket.
Duckworth called for his 5th. Parrish 8 for 8 from the line. 3-point play to give Boston a 106-105 lead. Kersey lost it. Pinckney deflected, but Drexler recovers, fires from downtown. Rebounded by Buck Williams. Well, Portland has the new 24. Bagley's played Porter very well. Porter is stopped by Parrish. Celtics were looking for a tie-up, but a foul on Parrish, so he picks up his 4th. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, a quick update on D. Brown. He went into the locker room with a deep thigh bruise. They iced it, they wrapped it, and they do expect him to return to the game.
All right, Ahmad, Terry Porter to the free throw line. We were discussing Porter's numbers earlier, and his assist totals are down from a year ago. Last season averaged 8 assists per game. This year about 6 per ball game.
And part of the reason is because Drexler has picked up his assist. The distribution is different. The controversial play a second ago, looks like a lot of ball there. Robert Parrish on Terry Porter.
Game tied at 106. And Porter has given Portland a 1-point lead. 5:20 remaining in the fourth. Now Bird played by Kersey. Drexler over to help. And it's waved off, will not count. Whistle before the shot attempt.
What the Celtics are trying to say is that basket should count. The gamble was in the act of shooting, even though the foul took place off the ball away from it. Bird sees the double, delivers on the money to Gamble, wide open. That loose ball foul underneath, they feel it should count.
Bob Delaney, the official at the near side, spotting Kevin Duckworth, and Duckworth has been charged with his 6th.
You mentioned earlier in the game the inconsistent play this year from Kevin Duckworth, and one thing that keeps creeping up in their games is the fact that he is in foul trouble early every night, must sit the rest of the first half, comes back, picks up another foul real quick, and winds up not playing the minutes that Rick Allen needs him on the floor.
So Mark Bryant checks back in. Duckworth fouls out with only 6 points, 2 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2 from the line. Both clubs are over the foul limit. Robert Parrish, 9 for 9 from the line. The Celtics and the Trailblazers are tied at 107. And then Porter knocks it away. Wild sequence. Porter was able to hand it off to Drexler. Porter looking for the 3. Just under 5 to go in what has been a terrific ball game. Drexler lost the dribble. And Bagley gets to it. Here's Parrish. Boston by 2, 109-107.
John Bagley has done a terrific job since Steve Brown has gone out. He's played Terry Porter very well. Gets on the floor for the loose ball. Excites the crowd.
Oh, what a move by Jerome Kersey, and the game is tied at 109. Second meeting of the season between these two clubs. Back in November in Portland, the Blazers blew out the Celtics. Bird can't find the shot. Played well by Kersey. Shot clock at 5. Here is Parrish. Boston 111 and Portland 109. Just under 4 to go in the fourth. Drexler with the tip on the alley-oop by Kersey.
They just keep coming right back at you, this Trailblazer team.
The game tied at 111. Bagley using the pick. Bird's pass deflected and picked off by Drexler. Drexler has 4 on 2. Bryant able to slam it home. And Portland leads 113-111. Bagley trying to use the screen from McHale. Now shooting. Rebounded by Williams, and a loose ball foul on Bagley. Both clubs are over the foul limit. This will put Buck Williams at the line.
A few moments back, you talk about some hustle, some extra effort, and then some crazy things happening. The rebound, the deflection, the pitch out, the steal. Everybody in this building is excited on the floor for loose balls. Action.
Williams, a 76% free throw shooter.
John Bagley's great hustle leads to the fast break layup by Robert Parrish for the Celtics.
Kevin Gamble sitting down. Reggie Lewis returns. Lewis playing with 5 fouls. Tipped home by Kersey. Jerome Kersey has come up very big in this fourth quarter. He now has 16. So the Trailblazers get a 3-point play out of it. And they now lead 116-111. Timeout taken by Boston. Those are the scoring leaders. Magnificent performances by both Clyde Drexler and Larry Bird. Larry Bird also with 10 rebounds and 8 assists. Drexler comes in averaging 25.5 per game, the number 5 scorer in the NBA. Terry Porter with 25. Reggie Lewis 21 points. Robert Parrish 22. That man Kevin McHale is 18. 3:05 remaining in the fourth. 7 unanswered points by the Trailblazers. They lead it by 5. Boston with 2 timeouts remaining. Portland has 4 left. Just under 3 minutes remaining now in this fourth quarter. Bird comes up, and it's rebounded by Buck Williams. Good box out by Buck. Drexler, played by Lewis, who has 5 fouls. Shot clock at 5. Crowd chanting defense. Porter's pass deflected. 1 on the 24. The ball last touched by Boston, so it will be Portland possession with 1 second on the 24.
And you have to watch Porter cutting to the basket right away, or the lob pass to Drexler in front of the rim.
Here's Porter. And Buck Williams able to get back to it.
And they accomplished what they wanted. They got the shot up on the glass and hoped to get it back again.
Kersey. And Bird with the rebound. Important sequence for the Celtics as we come up on 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. Parrish. Lewis gets to it and lost it. Porter with the steal. Here comes Drexler. Feeding Kersey. And Portland leads 118-111. Chris Ford wants a timeout. Boston down to its final timeout. Good run here by the Trailblazers. They lead by 7. Back in Boston, a look at today's Miller Genuine Draft play of the game.
For Portland, what appears to be a most dangerous situation, a 24-second clock running down. Ainge solves the problem, knocks out the 3, bottom of the net.
In recognition of that play, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. It's been a very happy return to Boston for Danny Ainge. Portland has certainly done it with the three-point weapon. They've hit 8 out of 14, led by Drexler, who has 4 from downtown. Porter with 3. Portland with a 9-0 run, leading by 7. And McHale is fouled by Williams. For Buck Williams, that is his 5th. Portland Trailblazers have won the last 5 out of 6 against the Boston Celtics. They have won the last 2 games here in Boston. And the Celtics are facing the prospect of a 4-game losing streak.
The teams with speed, quickness, the athleticism that the Trailblazers possess, that Chicago possesses, those types of teams have caused the Celtics a lot of problems.
Portland, on the other hand, getting for its 8th straight win. They now lead it 118-113. Pressure by Boston with 1.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Drexler trying to feed Williams. Porter on the recovery. And Parrish gets to it.
That was the same play that had worked a few minutes back in the game for Portland. The give and go from Drexler to Buck Williams. That time the deflection.
Bird changed his mind. McHale. Rebound Lewis. And Hugh Evans with the call at center court on McHale. Some terrific defensive play by the Trailblazers, who would not allow the shot.
No, they've been there to make the big plays happen at the defensive end of the floor to stop what appeared to be a number of sure scores. Again, after the miss, Lewis comes up, and it's the 2nd time in a row that it looked like Lewis was going to get an easy score inside. Instead, Kersey comes up, is fouled by McHale.
Kersey only a 67%. free throw shooter, making his first appearance at the line. He has had a superb game. 18 points, 6 rebounds for Jerome Kersey in his 8th season out of Longwood College in Virginia. Portland leading 119-113. 55 seconds remaining in the 4th. Boston has only 1 timeout remaining. Bird. And he drew the foul. He was blocked. So Bird to the line.
Larry Bird was determined to get the clock stopped by taking it to the hole, drawing contact. He's just disappointed that the basket itself did not go down. He would have had the opportunity for the 3-point play. The quick drive, hoping to stop it with contact. Wanted the basket to go in, though, obviously.
Foul committed by Bryant. And here's the reaction from Rick Adelman. Larry Bird is 9 for 10 from the line, and he's brought the Celtics within 4. 36 points for Bird. The Trailblazers take a timeout. The Blazers with 2 timeouts left. Celtics with 1. 48 seconds to go. And it is a 4-point lead for Portland. Let's go over to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, Marv, during that timeout, the Celtics decided to go right away for the quick 2. Hopefully they can get another stop and come back and try to get another 2.
All right, Ahmad. It is Portland ball as we resume. The Trailblazers at 46-18 today, concluding a 4-game and 6-day road trip. Back home Tuesday for Minnesota, Wednesday at LA to face the Lakers. And Portland looking to use the clock. Now Bird over, trying to tie up Porter. Shot clock is down to 8. Drexler with 5 on the 24. And it's recaptured by Buck Williams. The Blazers have been on every loose ball here in the 4th. Now Bird called for the foul.
Had nothing to do there but go out and foul immediately, or else they run the 24-second clock out and the game is over. They needed to secure the big rebound on the missed shot. It slipped out of Robert Parrish's hands.
So Drexler to the free throw line. He's 7 for 10 from the line.
Well, Drexler has to make something happen with the 24-second clock going down. The ball just bounces a little too long. The chief, Robert Parrish, can't quite get his hands back there far enough to come up with it.
Portland leads by 5, 121-15. Thanks to our producer of the NBA on NBC, Tommy Roy, our director, Andy Rosenberg, statistician, Mr. Stats, Elliot Cow, and the quick timeout called by Boston. That's their final timeout. Remember, next week, Mike, try to make it next Sunday, 12 noon Eastern time. I know it's difficult for you. Charles Barkley and the 76ers, Chuck Person and his Indiana Pacers right here on NBC. Both teams battling for a playoff position. Now, if the playoffs began today, these would be the matchups. The #1 seed Chicago will go against #8 Miami. Boston would face Detroit, with Detroit having the home court advantage. It would be Cleveland, Atlanta, and the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks.
You can see why Detroit wants to move down into the lower brackets to get away from Chicago. Now over on the other side in the West, Portland would face the Lakers, who are in the 8th position for maybe the first time in many, many years. San Antonio, Phoenix, Golden State, Seattle. Some terrific matchups there. Utah against Houston. Tough matchups in the West.
We are down to 20 seconds to go in this 4th quarter. Portland with the 5-point lead, and the Blazers have had the edge off the boards, in particular in the second half.
I resent you consistently reminding me that it's 12 noon next week, as if I might be late for the game.
You know, the ear laps do not work here. I know you're cold, and the ice surface is down underneath the parquet. The Boston Bruins will be playing the Los Angeles Kings tonight. And I know you're like a little baby, can't take the cold here in Boston.
It is a little brisk. Yes.
Portland has 2 timeouts left. Boston using its final timeout.
Boston needs a quick score. When you're down 5 points, what does it matter whether you get the 2 first, the 3 next, or the 3 first and the 2 next to tie it up? It's after they score quickly, they must get into some type of press and force the turnover. If Portland has a delay of game, they may use it here to get a look at the play.
Lewis for Bird. To the reverse, yes!
There's the pressure, quick by the Celtics.
It's a 3-point lead. The foul given. That's the man they would like to foul. At least one of 2 possibilities, although Buck Williams has improved his free throw shooting in recent years.
Buck right around 76%, and Bird knows he has to go quick. You put the ball on the floor down the stretch of NBA games and try to draw contact. Bird gets the score, puts them down 3, and now they get into the press immediately.
They would have preferred putting Jerome Kersey at the line. He's a 67% free throw shooter. Mark Bryant also only 67%, does not go to the line very much. Buck is 2 for 4 thus far today. He has really improved the stroke, because when he first came into the NBA with the New Jersey Nets out of the University of Maryland, he struggled at the line.
That whole team was having some problems when he first came to the Nets, making free throws.
So Buck Williams hits both. 5-point Portland lead. And we're down to 10 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Bird making 40 points for Bird, a season high. And again, the foul is given with 7 2/10 seconds to go, and now Kersey will go to the foul line.
Believe it or not, the Celtics almost came up with the basketball right there. That's why Rick Adelman is shaking his head. Kersey actually caught the ball, put it on the floor, a blind look, and the Celtics were almost there for the steal. Bird goes hard to the hole, knows he's got to get there quick for the score. They have to get back into the press, and on the inbounds pass, Kersey puts it down right there, and Reggie Lewis's hands are in there. If they come up with it, there's still 7 seconds, 8 seconds to go.
And Kersey is 1 for 3 from the line. He is 1 free throw miss away from the Celtics looking for the 3-pointer to tie. Both clubs doing some shuffling. Kevin Gamble has come on, replacing Robert Parrish.
And without any more timeouts, Chris Ford knows he's got to get guys on the floor that can shoot the basketball, catch and shoot in a hurry. They must go for the 3 now as they come down. There are no timeouts left.
Kersey missed both, but able to tip the rebound to Porter, but a foul call by Bob Delaney.
After Kersey shot the basketball, he crossed the free throw line, trying to keep the ball alive, and comes over the top of the Celtics. Larry Bird, contact there. Bird goes down. They never even waited for the contact. They called a lane violation against Jerome Kersey, running across the free throw line before the ball touched the rim. If it's not on the rim, he cannot, the shooter may not go across the free throw line. Ball's up. When does he cross the free throw line? Now. Excellent call.
7 2/10 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter, and Portland has called for a timeout. The crowd chanting, Larry, Larry. Obviously, the Boston play would be to set up for the 3, going for the tie.
Well, the first thing they may do is, coming out of this timeout, is try to expose the play that the Celtics are going to run by incurring a delay of game warning from the officials. The man guarding the basketball may step across the sideline, get too close to the guy inbounding the ball. The official will call a delay of game, but it might expose the play that the Celtics are going to use. On the other hand, in the Celtic huddle, Chris Ford may be telling them, hey, we're going to run 2 plays here. The first one where we might expose it, then come back with the next one in case they use the delay of game. So the chess match takes place right now. There is plenty of time to advance the ball and get a good 3-point shot. The other thing is, will Portland foul intentionally, put the Celtics on the line for free throws, and then inbounds the ball back themselves, knowing that they're going to get fouled by the Celtics?
Larry Bird has had a magnificent day. 40 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. Buck Williams looking to fire up Clyde Drexler. As Portland took the timeout, they have 1 remaining. Celtics do not have any. The high point men for the Trailblazers, Drexler 34, Porter with 25, Kersey with 19. Kersey just a moment ago, though, missed the 2 free throws. Bird leading the way with 40 for Boston. That is a season high for Larry Bird, who was a major question mark coming into today because of the Achilles problem and a bruised thigh. If, in fact, the Celtics should happen to tie this game, do you think anybody might mention the missed free throws down the stretch by the Trailblazers? Again, an opportunity to put somebody away. They don't get it done. Larry Bird is 1 out of 4 from downtown. 3-point Portland lead. 7 and 2/10 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. All right, here's Bird. Drexler all over him. He fires. It's a 3-pointer, and he's tied the game. The Trailblazers arguing that it should have been a 2-pointer. We'll get another look at that. Timeout taken by Portland. The scoreboard reads Boston 122, Portland 122. Rick Alleman is trying to gather his club together. He wants them back at the bench, but apparently it was ruled a 3-pointer for Bird. Well, the officials are talking it over right now, trying to decide where he took off on the shot. The ball eventually winds up getting over to the weak side, offside. Bird starts outside it. And now from that angle, you can't tell where his feet are on the shot. He says it's a 3. McHale says it's a 3. Feet outside the line. He sure tried to make sure they were out there. Very similar to those wide receivers running their pass patterns, shuffling the feet to keep them in bounds. Tough to tell from that angle. We could not see the depth perception. Here is another look. Well, the right foot never crossed, and if the left toe was behind the pivot foot, it's a good 3-pointer. Tough one to see from that angle. It's not only remarkable that he got the shot off with Drexler draped all over him, but he hit the shot as he was able to drill it home in dramatic fashion, and the game is tied at 122. The left foot is the one to watch. Is it behind the line? From that angle, it looks like it is behind the line. Excellent job by the camera guys picking it up from every possible angle. And the official, Bob Delaney, did have the perfect view of it. It is indeed a 3-pointer for Larry Bird. He has 43. The game tied at 122. It is Portland ball with 2 seconds remaining in regulation. And both clubs have used their final timeouts. Buck Williams will inbound. There's a delay game that time taken by the Celtics on purpose so they could see what play the Trailblazers wanted to run. Rick Alleman may have called 2 plays knowing that they were going to do that. All right, here's Drexler. He does it. We go to overtime. The Celtics and the Trailblazers tied at 122. Overtime is next. Well, if there's anybody that's going to make the shot, would you expect it to be anyone other than Larry Bird? Tough enough just to get it off, to have a chance at winning the game, but then to make the shot, keeping your feet behind the 3-point line, the script has been written. Check out the left toe. That's the one that counts right there. The right foot not even close to being over. Well, we have seen Larry Bird come forth with a number of extraordinary efforts. You recall the playoffs against Indiana last year, game number 5, the duel between Bird and Person. Well, this is right there. In particular, when you consider he was not supposed to play this afternoon. Bird with 43 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. On to overtime. The Celtics 0-1 in overtime games this season. Portland 2-3. Kersey's pass was broken up. Recovered by Bryant. Portland going without Cliff Robinson, who was ejected on technical fouls, without Kevin Duckworth. Porter tried the 3, and Bagley starts back.
Tom Bagley is so tired. He was out in front of the field, and after 2 dribbles, there were 2 Blazers back past him already.
Kevin Duckworth out on fouls. Buck Williams is playing with 5. Ricky Lewis giving Boston a 2-point lead. For the Celtics, 5 apiece on Bird and Lewis, so they are also in danger. Here's Drexler. Last touched by Boston. On the line, the 7-game win streak by the Blazers. Boston has lost their last 3 after winning 4 in a row. Kersey is stopped, and he is fouled. Jerome Kersey putting the move on Kevin McHale, so that's 5 on McHale.
This is a complete isolation set up for Kersey to try and take McHale off the dribble. The next closest man is John Bagley, who just doesn't get there in time to stop the split. The foul incurred as a result.
Jerome Kersey missing the critical free throws in the final seconds that gave the Celtics the opportunity to tie it. But right here he comes back by hitting 2, and the game is tied at 124 with a minute and change gone by in this 5-minute overtime. Bird matched by Kersey. And the foul is called. The basket will not count.
Larry Bird has had Buck Williams guarding him. He's had Mark Bryant guarding him. He's had Jerome Kersey guarding him. When it's Kersey down in the post, it's easy for Larry. He's the smallest and the least size bulk against him that he's had all day.
Jerome Kersey picked up his 3rd. Kersey goes 6'7", 225, so Bird has a couple of inches on him. Celtics staying with Bagley and Lewis at the guards. Bird, Parrish, and McHale up front. Game tied at 124. Bird with the fadeaway. And it's Boston 126 and Portland 124. Here's Kersey after Bird nearly picked it off, and Kersey has tied it at 126. Bird has 45 points, and now Porter got caught on Bird on a mismatch, but a foul on Kersey.
And Bagley was paying so much attention to trying to get the ball down low to Bird, who had Porter on his back, that he almost lost it to Kersey, who had wound up picking up Bagley in the transition adjustment. He knows he's got a mismatch. He just can't figure out how to get it down to him.
4 fouls on Jerome Kersey. 2 minutes gone by in overtime. Bird with some room. Rebounded by Bryant.
In and out. In and out.
Porter shaking loose. Terry Porter able to break the Celtics down on that penetration.
And John Bagley wound up running into Kevin McHale as Porter was trying to turn the corner. The 2 Celtics collided, wide open to the basket.
Chris Ford calls for time. The Trailblazers lead it by 2. Back at the Boston Garden before the usual sellout crowd. 527 consecutive sellouts here in Boston. And the Portland Trailblazers lead the Boston Celtics 128 to 126 in what has been a sensational afternoon of basketball. The Celtics able to come back on several occasions, and they tied it with 2 seconds to go on a desperation 3-pointer by Larry Bird. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Mark, during that last time out, Chris Ford kept telling his team they want to keep taking the ball down inside, trying to get a foul.
All right, and Bird will throw in. The Celtics remain the same following the timeout, as do the Blazers. 2:40 remaining in overtime. Same matchup, Bird being played by Kersey. Bird, rebounded by Kersey. So Portland with the ball, and they lead it by 2. Porter coming off the pick. Terry Porter with 29 points, and Portland leads 130-126.
They actually had set up Terry Porter to come off the double screen on the right side of the floor. He faked, went opposite. Drexler got him the ball on the money and on time.
McHale backing Bryant. Kevin McHale will go to the foul line.
This play is diagrammed for Porter to come out to the right. Instead, he goes left. Bagley caught on the screen. The key is the pass went from the right side of the circle all the way to the left-hand corner. Excellent looking feed by Drexler.
By Drexler, though, just picked up that foul, so he has 5. McHale is 9 for 9 from the line. Celtics, the #1 free throw shooting team, at 81%. So the Portland lead is 2 with 1 minute and 59 remaining in overtime. Drexler guarded by Lewis. Lewis has 5 fouls. Here's Bryant. Mark Bryant with his 3rd field goal. 6 points for Bryant, and Portland leads by 4.
Well, if you're the Celtics, you got the guy that you wanted, taking the wide open shot, having to make it. Mark Bryant, he produced.
They double up on Bird. Bagley wide open. It is a 2-point Trailblazer lead.
And likewise, the Trailblazers said, go ahead, John Bagley. You have to make it at this end of the floor. Bagley produces.
Rebounded by Bird. 1:15 left in overtime, and Boston within 2.
Larry Bird 1 assist away from a triple-double.
Bird, and he has tied the game at 132. Points for Larry Bird. 10 on the shot clock. Drexler with the stop. Clyde Drexler will go to the line.
When he feels it and he's in a rhythm, Larry Bird's stroke is so sweet. Step back, slight fade. He's in the groove.
Reggie Lewis hears it from the crowd as he leaves. He's fouled out. 23 points on 9 for 19 from the field. Clyde Drexler to the foul line. He's 8 for 12 from the line. He is just under 80% for the season.
And now Chris Ford must put a player in who is big enough, strong enough, agile enough, quick enough to stay with Clyde Drexler in the matchup down the stretch here.
And he hopes that man is Kevin Gamble.
Number 34, Kevin Gamble, replaces Reggie Lewis for the Celtics. Clyde Drexler has
50 seconds remaining in overtime. Portland by 1. And a timeout is called by Boston. The Trailblazers 134, the Celtics 132.
You know, when you look around the arena here, the Boston Garden, a few moments ago when the Celtics were down 7, a lot of them had left. Suddenly, it's back. Full house once again.
Yes, they began to file out and heard the news of the Celtic comeback, and it looks to be back to the capacity crowd. Larry Bird with 47 points. His career high 60. Did it against the New Orleans Jazz. That was back in 1985. He has had 4 50-plus performances. The Celtics were down 118-111 with just under 2 minutes remaining in regulation, and they were able to tie it on that three-pointer by Bird with 2 seconds to go. They're trailing by 2 right here. Bagley had it knocked away by Porter, so no backcourt violation. Shot clock at 15. Kersey got a piece of it. Here's Bird for 3. Rebound Bagley. Bird again. Rebounded by Kersey. He had time to plant the feet. He had time to study the basket, but could not hit.
Chris Ford yelling, don't foul. Dig in, play defense. There's about a 6-second difference in the clock and game clock. He wants a stop and a rebound, then a quick timeout.
4 on the 24. Drexler. And a foul is called with 4 4/10 seconds remaining in overtime.
After all the tough shots that he's made, the first one, no good, but Bagley gets it right back. There's nobody near him. He looks down, checks his feet, tees it up. He knows it's good. Can't believe it.
That would have given Boston a 1-point lead had he hit it.
And now the Celtics need to secure the rebound right there. It's on the floor. Who comes up with it? The Trailblazers.
All right, Buck Williams, 4 out of 6. He nearly threw an air ball. The foul was on Parrish, so he now has 5. And a timeout called by the Trailblazers. And we'll stay right here. A 2-point lead for Portland. 4 4/10 seconds remaining in this overtime session. A reminder, next Sunday, starting at 12 noon Eastern time, it'll be the 76ers of Charles Barkley going up against the Indiana Pacers of Chuck Person, Detlef Schrempf, and Reggie Miller. That is next Sunday. And coming up next on NBC Sports World, a day of beauty and elegance on ice at the World Professional Figure Skating Championships. That is next here on NBC. We're working a little overtime. See the timeout rundown. Blazers with 2 left. Celtics have 1 remaining. And when we resume following this Portland timeout, Buck Williams will have another free throw.
And after this free throw, the Trailblazers will be up 3 points, or they'll be up 2 points. The most important thing right now is for the Celtics to remember to box out on the free throw attempt. Don't assume anything. Don't assume you're going to get back into this huddle for another timeout and advance the ball, because already today Portland has scored on 1 missed free throw opportunity when Boston didn't box out. You cannot afford to let them knock this ball free. They're very active on the glass.
By Drexler, leading Portland with 36. Terry Porter has 29. Jerome Kersey with 23. Larry Bird with 47 points, along with 13 rebounds, 9 assists. So Buck Williams back to the foul line. We discussed earlier the fact that he has come a long way. He's made major strides at the line, but he missed his first and missed it badly. This one too strong, and Boston calls for the timeout.
This crowd senses that something good is going to happen once again. Down 2, just over 4 seconds remaining. They'll have another shot opportunity at it.
That's the Celtics' final timeout. Portland has 2 left. So 4 2/10 seconds to go in overtime. And Portland leading by the score of 134-132. The Celtics trying to end a 3-game losing streak. They come off the loss to the Nets on Friday. They led by as many as 19 in that one. While Portland, coming off a win in Atlanta on Friday night, has won 7 in a row, and they have been an excellent road club. 20-12, second best road record next to the Chicago Bulls. And today they end the 4-game and 6-day road journey. They'll be back home on Tuesday to face Minnesota, while the Celtics play in Milwaukee against the Bucks on Tuesday, then return home for Cleveland on Wednesday.
Yes, the Bucks arena has not been a friendly place to Boston over the last few years.
They have made an adjustment on the time. Instead of 4.2 remaining, when Bird grabbed that rebound, they lost an additional tenth of a second. So it's 4 1/10 of a second to go.
Now let's see if Portland uses its delay of game to try and expose the play that the Celtics have set up here. Remember, 2 delay of games technical.
All right, let's go over to Ahmad. Apparently we've had technical problems with Ahmad's microphone. Gamble will look to inbound, and the delay of game has been called on Bryant, so they have that, as you mentioned, that delay of game to give.
Mark Bryant crossed the line, gave the rest of his team a chance to look at it.
And now Gamble for Bagley, looking to tie it. Here's Gamble. Yes! Off the buzzer! And we go to a second overtime.
In most end-of-game situations, the most dangerous guy is the guy who takes the ball out of bounds, the passer. That time, Portland elected not to have somebody up on the ball tight. That's the guy that knocked it out.
We'll be back with a second overtime in a moment.
Clyde Drexler's trying to take away the passing lane to Larry Bird, but the most dangerous guy is the passer, Gamble. Drexler turns his head. Gamble runs to the corner. Nobody has Kevin Gamble. Bottom of the net. The good penetration by Bagley. Knows exactly where his teammate's going to be in the deep right corner.
Kevin Gamble has hit 6 of 7 from the field. It is on to a second overtime. Robert Parrish and Jerome Kersey will jump it up. Parrish playing with 5 fouls, as is Bird, as is McHale. Kevin Duckworth is already fouled out. 5 apiece on Clyde Drexler and Buck Williams. And the Celtics control. Bird up front with McHale and Parrish, Bagley and Gamble at the guard positions. The game is tied at 1:34. Larry Bird with the fake to draw the foul on Kersey. So that is 5 on Jerome Kersey.
You could see Bird grimace because he knew that he had the defensive man in the air. If he would have just turned and shot it, he would have had the 2 free throws. The fake gets him up. Right there, he should have shot it. He knows it.
Larry Bird with 47 points.
Points in 49 minutes.
But Bird's pass picked off by Bryant. Terry Porter has had a magnificent game for Clyde Drexler. Here's Jerome Kersey. And Bagley gets to it.
Bird doing a good job of putting his body on Buck Williams. Kept him off the ball. Bagley comes up with it.
Bird changed his mind and found Bagley.
You're exactly right. He changed his mind late. The dump down pass at the end.
Boston by 2. Porter. And the call is last touched by the Trailblazers. Larry Bird with that pass for John Bagley collected his 10th assist, so he now has a triple-double. Boston leads 136-134. Bird for the Braves. And Buck Williams on the rebound. Kersey. Whoa! Kevin McHale called for number 6.
Just a moment ago when the shot goes up, Larry Bird puts a body on his man like he's supposed to, lets his teammate take care of the rebound. And then the shot? No, the late pass for the score. McHale knows that he's going to take this one and try to finish it with a dunk. The challenge, the official felt arm, not ball.
So Kevin McHale with a very strong performance leads with 22 points. And Eddie Pinckney, hearing the chant from the crowd, has checked in. Replacing Kevin McHale, who's fouled out. Kersey at the line. And the Trailblazers suffering at the line in the final minutes of regulation and overtime. Kersey is now 3 for 6 from the free throw line. So he misses both, but last touched by the Celtics.
You mentioned earlier that the Celtics are the #1 team in the league from the free throw line. Portland ranked 13th overall in the NBA, right in the middle of the pack at about 75% as a team.
Drexler, guarded by Gamble. Oh, spectacular move by Drexler, and he draws the foul, so Clyde to the free throw line.
And a good call that time. Gamble slapping him across the arm as he made his move in the lane. He covers so much ground with those strides. He gets from outside the lane to halfway across the other side on his takeoff.
Drexler is now 10 out of 14 from the line, and Portland is within 1. A minute 40 gone by in the second overtime, and the game is tied at 1:36.
Mark Bryant, now the matchup on Bird, a little bit bigger and stronger.
Bagley for Pinckney. Boston 138, and Portland 136.
Well, Larry Bird couldn't free himself of Bryant, so Bagley made a good decision. Penetration.
Parrish off the Porter miss. Takes a lapse on Parrish. Porter going for the tie-up. Here's Bagley. Well, like Larry Bird, John Bagley was a question mark for today because of a sore right foot. They checked him out with x-rays, which came up negative, and he has had a terrific game and has put the time in today. Drexler, rebounded by Parrish, so Boston in possession. They lead it by 4.
And the reason that Bagley was injured because he hadn't been playing a lot with Sherman Douglas back. He was trying to keep himself in shape, did a lot of jump rope work, bruised his foot that way, perhaps doing a little too much.
Bird, yes! Bird off the fake. He has 49. The Celtics open up a 6-point lead, and Portland has called for time.
Larry Bird in that familiar pose, back to the basket, checking out the center of the floor, and then the slight ball fake, step back, and the groove, as usual, in the hole.
A minute 57 remaining in the second overtime. Boston with a 142-136 lead on Portland. As we mentioned earlier, Larry Bird had a career-high 60 back in 1985 against the New Orleans Jazz. Here's Porter for 3. And it's Boston ball.
And Rick Alleman really upset, feeling that the Celtics had torn Mark Bryant's arms off. It could have been a travel just before that the other way, though.
Foul committed by Mark Bryant. So Larry Bird will throw in. A minute and 33 remaining in the second overtime. Celtics 4 out of 5 from the field in the second overtime. Portland, as you saw, 0 for 5. The longest game this season, a 3 overtime affair between Utah and Chicago. Boston by 8. It does not appear that this will go past the second overtime, as Portland has called for time.
If you let the guy shoot the ball, he makes it. So what do? You double team. He finds open teammates. Pinckney flash into the open spot, finishes it off with a dunk. Larry Bird likes it. He knows it's happening right now for the Celtics. Rick Adelman, on the other hand, not real excited about what's taking place out there against his team.
Well, Rick Adelman's Portland Trailblazers have not scored a point the last 2 minutes and 3 seconds. And in the second overtime, they have been outscored by Boston 10-2. A dramatic performance by the Boston Celtics, sparked by Larry Bird, who has hit for 49 points. A minute 15 remaining in the second OT.
Celtics have Larry Bird guarding Danny Ainge right now.
Drexler, yes, and it counts. So the Trailblazers within 6, and Drexler will go to the line. Clyde Drexler with 40 points.
The last thing you want to do in this situation is give them a chance for a three-point play. They'll take the three any way they can get it, from the outside or from the inside.
Three-point play by Drexler. And Boston now leads by 5 off the pressure. A foul is called. It's on Ainge.
I'm not sure that Portland needs to foul this early. It's 5 points, a minute and 9 seconds remaining. You can go into your full court pressure, but don't commit a foul intentionally this early.
Portland is already over the limit. The next one will put the Celtics over the foul limit. Celtics have hit 35 for 39 from the foul line. Portland is 35 for 48, and many of their misses have come down the stretch. 6-point Celtic lead as we come up on 1 minute remaining. Crowd wanted a palming violation on Drexler. Ainge lost the handle. Porter with the recovery. Ainge for 3.
Stay back and cover the three-point line.
Here's Porter from downtown. Last touch by Bird, says Bob Delaney. It will be Portland ball.
Is it off Bird? The official thinks it's the left hand of Larry Bird that was in there.
50 seconds to go in the second overtime. The Celtics lead 145-139. Drexler for 3. And now the Trailblazers not able to hit from three-point line. Buck Williams will go to the foul line. Portland is now 8 for 19 from downtown.
If that ball goes in the basket for Buck, it would have been their second opportunity for a 3 in close to the basket. If you're going to commit a foul down there, take the guy down so he can't score the basket.
Robert Parrish has fouled out, and he hears it from the crowd. So Parrish and Lewis have fouled out for Boston. Duckworth lost on fouls for Portland. 22 points and 10 rebounds for the Chief, Robert Parrish.
Chris Ford is going to bring back D. Brown, who has been out since he was injured earlier in the game with that thigh bruise. Bringing back D to match up better against the Trailblazers. Put another ball handler in, a guy who can make his free throws, a guy to defend. he doesn't look like he's walking very well right now as he comes out. He's been out a long time. He is not loose, and he's injured.
Buck Williams only 4 out of 8 from the line. Oh, is he off? He has not only been missing, he is either throwing short or long, way off. The Celtics 145, the Trailblazers 140. Bagley is fouled by Porter.
Well, it's a decision that you have to make. You do one or the other. You either foul immediately and don't let the opposition run any time off the clock, put them on the free throw line, hope that they miss a couple, you try and come down and score, or you have to decide to dig in, get a defensive stop, and then go after the scores. It's obvious Portland's made the first decision. Foul them right away, put them on the line, go from there.
And Bagley on the line for the first time. Chris Ford on an offensive defensive shuffle has Rick Fox replaced D. Brown. The Boston lead is 6. 40 seconds to go in the second overtime. Drexler with the spin. Nice setup for Buck Williams. It's down to a 4-point lead. Bird unleashes to Fox. That's a problem. Here's Ainge for 3. He's got it. Danny Ainge buries the 3. 148-144. Boston with the lead in a wild finish with 31 seconds remaining in the second overtime. Ainge.
You have the break.
So Rick Fox will go to the line.
The toughest thing about this pass by Bird is that it comes from behind the backboard, under the backboard. You try to remind your players always to clear the backboard one side or another. After the score, the quick return, and Ainge shoots it over the top of Ed Pinkman.
Rick Fox, a 76% free throw shooter, and he's 0 for 3 this afternoon. Boston 149, Portland 145. See time running down. Buck Williams, yes! It is down to a 2-point Celtic lead. 20 seconds to go in the second overtime. Here's Fox with Williams back, and Gamble is fouled. It's a reach-in. So Gamble to the line. Clyde Drexler picking up his 6th. Oh, tremendous performance by Clyde Drexler. And he's receiving a standing ovation from the crowd here in Boston. 41 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds.
Well, he carried this Trailblazer team at the beginning of the season when they were going through some tough times with some other players. He's been the mainstay throughout the season, and he certainly showed up today and tried to keep that streak going up 7 wins for the Trailblazers.
Robert Pack, the rookie from the University of Southern California, will replace Drexler. Well, the crowd here well aware that they have seen a regular season classic. 14 seconds to go in the second overtime, and Kevin Gamble has given the Celtics a 3-point lead. Trailblazers have 1 timeout left. Boston with 3. Gamble with clutch free throw shooting, extending to a 151-147 lead. And Portland takes a timeout. 14 and 9/10 seconds to go in the second overtime. Clyde Drexler in a duel with Larry Bird, although they rarely went head-to-head, but Drexler with the big numbers, Bird with 49 points. Larry Bird with a triple-double. Larry Bird was thought to be a scratch for today because of the Achilles tendon injury and a bruised thigh, and he has come through with his best game of the season.
Well, at the end of regulation time, this is the play that got the Celtics into the first overtime. Was it questionable whether he was over the three-point line? It sure was. Was it questionable whether he could get it off? It sure was, but it's still an in.
So the Trailblazers with the timeout, down by 4. See the time remaining. And the Blazers have just used their final timeout. Portland Trailblazers at 46-18, second best record in the NBA behind the Chicago Bulls. 7 straight wins. They won 21 of the last 26. They have been enormously successful on the road. They've won 14 of the last 18 on the road, while the Boston Celtics trying to end a 3-game losing streak and hoping to use this game to build on. Tuesday they're at Milwaukee, Wednesday back home for Cleveland, Friday at Detroit, so a rough stretch coming up. Ainge able to save that pass, played tightly by Fox, can't find the shot, now does. He's trying to draw a 4-point play. Fox committing the foul, and Ainge to the line with 8 seconds to go.
And it's a rookie mistake that time by Rick Fox. There's no reason at all for you to be elevating and going in the air until Ainge is up. This ball fake is just designed there to get you up. He accomplishes what he wants. He's got the clock stopped, opportunity to pick up 2 points without losing any more time.
Ainge is 4 for 4 from the line, 80% free throw shooter. Boston by 3.
Ainge looking over to Rick Adelman, asking him, should I make it or should I miss this one with 8.7 seconds remaining?
What would your call be?
Make the basket, go after the ball after.
They missed it. Pinckney with the rebound, hit from behind by Williams. So Buck Williams has fouled out. He is the 3rd Trailblazer to foul out, joining Duckworth and Drexler.
The other problem for Rick Adelman, no more timeouts remaining. He must do everything now in transition after the Celtics shoot these free throws.
Abdelnaby checks back in for the Celtics. An excellent free throw shooter, Ed Pinckney, to the line. He's 83% for the season. But 1 of 2 this afternoon. Incidentally, the 49 points by Larry Bird is the 2nd highest scoring total this season. Dominique Wilkins had a 52-point game against the Knicks in a double overtime earlier in the year. 4-point lead, time running down. Ainge for 3. Game in double overtime here in Boston. The Celtics defeat the Trailblazers 152 to 148. 49 points for Larry Bird on 19 of 35 from the field. 41 points for Clyde Drexler. A triple-double for Bird. 49 points, 14 rebounds, and 12 assists.